Namo Amitabha Buddha. Hello everyone. So a comment about how to overcome fear and anxiety or social anxiety in life. Can Nianfo help us overcome fear and anxiety? So the answer is yes, definitely yes. If one has practiced Nianfo for long enough, consistent enough in our everyday life, then this can actually help us overcome all ills and sufferings in life, whether it's fear, anxiety, anger, sadness, whatever defilemental states we might be experiencing. This can actually all be overcome with Nianfo. This may sound a bit exaggerating and hard to believe at the beginning, especially for people who have not practiced Nianfo or who may have not practiced Nianfo long enough. But it's actually really logical, it really makes sense. So think about what exactly caused our sufferings. Doesn't matter what kind of sufferings, but the root cause of suffering is really our attachment, right? The first noble truth said by the Buddha. The root of suffering is really our attachment to all kinds of defilemental states, whatever they are, to all kinds of emotions, to illusions. Again, when we say illusions in Buddhism, what we mean is that they can be changed. They are not permanent in nature, and hence their emptiness in nature. Again, when we say their emptiness in nature, we mean that there is no permanent fixed nature attached to it. They can be changed. They are impermanent. So because they're impermanent, we should not be attached to them. If they can be changed all the time, there's no point to be attached to them. But we have this tendency, habit of being attached to illusions. We have this habit to identify what are illusions in nature to be real. So how we can actually liberate from all these sufferings is actually to let go of our attachment. But it's not easy to let go of our attachment. It's one thing to understand it in theory, another thing to really embody it. If we can all let go of our attachment, then we'll be enlightened. Right? The state of our heart to not be attached to anything. But because we are not enlightened yet, so we're gonna have some kind of attachment. If there is any attachment we should be attached to the name of Amitabha Buddha. So what is so magic of this method is that it works directly with our attachment. Because we like to be attached. So what Nianfo does is that it just changes the subject of attachment. Instead of being attached to the illusions, to all these defilemental states, we are attached to Amitabha Buddha, the name of infinite light and life, which consonants with our Buddha nature. So if there is anything we should be attached to, we should be attached to the name of Amitabha Buddha. We should be attached to infinite light and life. So when we experience fear, anxiety, or anger, or whatever they might be, usually it's because we are worried about what's happened in the past or what might happen in the future, or in the present we might worry about what other people might think of me if I do this and that. So again, all these thoughts, they are all illusions in nature because they don't last forever. They come and go. They're impermanent. So we should not be attached. But because we have the habit of being attached to illusions, so if we want to transform this habit, we actually need some practice. The more we practice Nianfo, the easier, the quicker it is for us to actually transform our attachment from all these illusions, all these defilemental states, to the attachment of Amitabha Buddha, to the name of infinite light and life. So what is so magical about this method is that it really works directly with the thoughts. It does not require any kind of complicated procedures. All we need to do is just to remember to think of Amitabha. Of course, this requires practice. Without practice, we may not remember Amitabha. We may forget about Amitabha and just only remember our troubles, our afflictions. But the more we practice, the more we cultivate the habit of being in constant mindfulness of Amitabha Buddha, the easier, the quicker it is for us to transform all kinds of afflictions to the name of Amitabha Buddha. If we can really think of Amitabha Buddha in every moment of our life, or in most time of our life, then we can really be liberated from all sufferings, or at least most sufferings in our life. So this method is really tremendously powerful. It may seem extremely simple, but what is simple, if we do it long enough, if we do it consistent enough in our everyday life, it becomes tremendously powerful and effective. And again, what's so good about this Nianfo method is that it just works directly with our thoughts. We don't need to sit in any kind of meditative position. We don't need to wait to find a meditation cushion. No need to have yoga mat. You don't need any of this complicated stuff. All we need to do is just to remember Amitabha Buddha, and in this moment we can just change our thoughts, whatever thoughts we might have, to the name of Amitabha Buddha. So this is tremendously powerful and effective if one has practiced long enough. So I guarantee you, for Nianfo practitioners, if we still feel a lot of afflictions in life, if we feel, I don't know, maybe anger, sadness, anxiety, fear, and all this, is really because you have not practiced Nianfo enough. If you have practiced Nianfo enough, I guarantee you this can all be solved. So you can also join our 4 daily Nianfo sessions to help you cultivate the habit of being in constant mindfulness of Amitabha Buddha. So some people say they may have fear, anger, anxiety, and all this. And then you ask them how long they have practiced Nianfo, they might just say they do it like 10 minutes every day. So this is not enough. If you want to overcome this habitual tendency of being attached to defilemental states, to the name of Amitabha Buddha, then you actually need to put more time and effort in your cultivation. The more you remember to Nianfo, the more you keep practicing, then the less you will be affected by any other afflictions in your life, because you will be able to see the illusions of all those afflictions. I'm not saying to eradicate them completely. This may be difficult. They can still be there, but you know that they're just illusions in nature. And you don't bring your focus on them. You are focusing on the name of Amitabha Buddha. You transform all your energy and focus on the name of Amitabha Buddha, and I guarantee you this will definitely help you overcome all ills and sufferings in life. It will definitely help you overcome all fears, anxiety, anger, sadness, whatever defilemental states you might experience in the moment. Okay, I'll share more benefits of why we should practice Nianfo more in the near future. Namo Amituofo Buddha. Namo Amituofo.